Let me record. Fuck yeah! All right, there we go. That's all I needed. We can start it now.
I suddenly got so nervous.
Don't be nervous. Oh, he didn't tell you the rules. So
Oh yeah.
we you
Go
can
ahead.
swear. We don't we
Sick.
don't cut out cussing.
Nice.
If there's anything that you said and you'd like to just try to say it again, just say it again. It can be cut out later.
All right.
I do the editing, so
Sweet.
no
Take
worries.
I think that's about the only two rules. Have fun, be comfortable.
Cool. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I got this. I've spent some time in the studio. I have a nickname OTT. You know, what I'm saying one take Tony. So we're gonna slide
Ah.
right through this.
Fuck yeah,
Keep
I
the
love
editing
that.
to a minimum.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot you used to do music too.
A little
Remember that
bit.
now. Yeah. Um, Thank you guys for joining the Ono Disc Golf podcast. It's me, Eric. We got Kyle, and we
What's
got our
up?
friend Anthony from Happy with Par Disc Golf. How's it going, Anthony?
Hey, I'm doing very well and excited to be chit chatting with you dudes this evening.
Me,
Dude, so
me
excited to
too.
have
We're
you here.
excited. It's a
You
long time coming.
dudes.
Right?
Had
I'm
to
looking
cancel
forward
it
to
a couple
this.
times. Had to cancel it a couple times due to technical difficulties on our end, but
And
better
it's
late
my
than
fault.
never,
Yeah.
as the old sayings go.
Health is wealth, baby. You gotta
Yeah.
keep your immune system strong, you know?
Fuck yeah.
So Happy with Par Disc Golf. Tell us a
You
little
guys
bit about how. Oh,
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about how Happy with Park started. But first, I want to say you guys really just have great radio voices. Like that's another thing that I take away. That's um my opening compliment is
Well,
you
thank
guys
you.
got great radio voices.
great
Anyway,
radio faces too.
yeah, visual radio is the definitely going to be the new hot thing. They're installing all these giant screens in the cars. You
Right.
just start,
That's it,
watching
man.
Soon they're
Gotta
television.
just
watch
going
Wow.
to
something.
projecting it. With all the
Boy,
self-driving cars, they're just going to start projecting it onto the windshield.
right? That'd be kind of sick. I'm into it.
Dude,
I
that
don't
would
want
be
to try.
sick.
Yeah, I don't want to try anymore. Convenience is king. Let me just
Sit back,
relax. It's like,
Like, let
right?
the car do the work for me.
let me get a disc that just goes into the basket. I don't want to try this anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
no. But thank you.
Happy with Par is.
I don't think anybody's started with a compliment. That's very nice of you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
thanks.
usually like, hurry up, dumbass, get over
Yeah,
it.
it's like
Get
shut the
over
fuck up, Kyle.
Well, then you're gonna give me a compliment back. You just like evened out our compliments. I don't even have the one up anymore. Fucking even playing field. Here we go.
That's what
Fuck.
we
God damn
want.
it, Kyle. Yep.
All right. Happy with Par Disc Golf. How'd you start the name? Who, did you go through other names? Is there other names that you got to before?
Nah, there wasn't other names. It was just happy with Par from the jump. I didn't really plan on um, making it like a brand at the beginning. Really, just when I got super into disc golf and it was kind of taking up all my free time, I started posting just a lot of disc golf stuff to my Instagram. And I guess at the time, my Instagram was, a mix of like records because I collect records and I'm into music and like family pictures and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it was just like all disc golf and
All the time.
everybody who I
Right.
was kind of friends with on there is like just kind of like what the hell. And yes, I just started a separate Instagram page originally and I called it Happy with Par because that was kind of like the little mantra that I was rocking at the time. Yeah, just as
Just
I was,
popped in your head.
yeah,
Yeah.
as I was I think, it's probably something that a lot of people say and have said, but, one day I said it and it kind of was like a sarcastic thing at first where, I missed a
Right.
birdie putt or whatever and I'm tapping in and I'm like, I ruined the star frame or whatever. And it's like, well, it's fine because I'm happy with par,
Right. Yeah.
and kind of
For
walk
sure.
on it. And it became this sort of joke at first, but then, yeah, a mix of spending all my time playing disc golf and having sort of a little bit of an artistic background, I guess. I really wanted to get into just kind of creating something, just sort of I needed a creative outlet. And so I started making merchandise and shirts and hats and stuff for my local disc golf community. And then that didn't feel like enough. I felt like I really wanted to put my spin on it. And so why not do, I'm already doing this Instagram thing. So I drew up the little walking basket and it looked way less cool. I sent it to a friend of mine who is an artist and musician, and told him kind of what I was going for, and he made this. And when it came back, I was just like, oh shit. Like I need to make this, everybody needs to see this. And that's when I started kind of taking it a little bit more seriously, because like as soon as I posted the logo for the first time, it was like, cool, this is my blog, Happy with Par.
Right.
And people were like, dude, sick logo. You should make shirts. You should. I was like, I should. And next thing you know, it just kind of,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it just kind of took off.
To just the viewers, I just brought my dog into the frame. Sorry.
He, she,
his name. Yeah, his name's Taco.
What up,
He's
Taco?
My little old guy. He just had a bunch of his teeth removed, so he's doing amazing.
Right. Nice. That's a bummer. Getting all your teeth removed would definitely suck.
He doesn't seem to mind. He likes it. It's a lot better than having a bunch of fucking rotting teeth.
True.
But sorry to sidetrack. I love the fucking story. It seems really like natural and like an easy progression into just like having this obsession and like all of this fucking content that you're just doing it anyway. Like it's the best content you can have is just this natural shit that people will love. And yeah, the fucking logo is tight, dude. I fucking love it. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna post a video of it, but if you can like hold it up to the camera just a little bit more, might as well fucking do it. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful shit. It is sick, dude.
Thank you, man. Yeah. You kind of mentioning you're doing it, you do it anyway or whatever, that was something that kind of didn't really click for me for a little bit. Just kind of realizing like when I'm going out and playing rounds, like every once in a while I'll try to take a couple videos, and I don't post them every day. Like that's another thing. People are like, bro, you play all the time. And I'm like, stagger your content, dumbass. Like,
right.
Yeah, take a bunch of videos one day, like just drop a couple clips throughout the week. I mean, it's like a 7-second video, but yeah, like it's funny because it definitely, I'm better now. I got a couple buddies who are cool with it too, where it's like, yo, let's go play a content round kind of. And it's like,
yeah,
we're all the time I'm playing, except for like when I'm actually playing a tournament. I mean, it's a casual round, but I don't really do field work. I don't really practice. Like my practice is like playing around. Mm-hmm. So, and we also carry tags all the time. So every round, every practice round, every casual round is also competitive, right?
Always.
So it was just really easy to get in my head about that shit. Just getting wrapped up in, wanting to do what I think I'm capable of every time, as if that's realistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
that's the goal.
I mean, it is, but it's so fucking impossible.
Yeah. I had a takeaway I was thinking about today, because like I said, I'm a head case. I'm very open about that. I mean, this whole Happy with Par thing has really been interesting because all my friends and a lot of people throughout my life will tell you that I'm like a very extroverted, outgoing, funny, cool, right, handsome. It's like, but
you're so humble. You're like more humble than I've ever heard a person be. It's amazing.
I also, I love this because I do get to kind of slip into a character, and I don't know, not even to say a character, because
it's it's 10%,
this is me. This is very authentic. Yeah, but I get to turn it up. Yeah. The thing about it too for me is like, and disc golf is what brought this out, and like kind of starting this brand is really what brought this out. When my band kind of broke up, that was my like creative outlet, and some people really need it, and I realized that I was really somebody who needed it when my band broke up. And then when COVID hit, there was just this lull where I really just started to kind of feel like the combination of probably consuming way too much social media and all that downtime too made
Yeah.
me start to be like, just really get sick of like people's opinion, just people talking, just everybody having an opinion on something. And some of this might sound, I can't think of the exact word right now, but basically just like a jerk, like kind of cold and everything. And it was because
Yeah.
I was kind of getting there. And
Pretentious.
I
I felt the exact same way though.
Yeah, and I got to a
I think
point
a
where
lot.
you said you feel that way a lot.
Yeah,
I
all
think
the time.
a lot
Uh,
of people have
Yeah,
that
it's like
feeling.
I sometimes
well,
like it's like you take a video, it's like I don't even I know I should post this, right, but like I might just keep it for me. Like fuck everybody else. Like
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I really don't like to feel that way. I genuinely don't, and I recognize that in myself. And I don't know, I didn't really know how to get out of that funk, sort of. But one thing that I realized is like when I kind of started playing disc golf and really just meeting more people and hanging out with people who I didn't really know and making those friends and also putting yourself in that competitive sort of zone where like I didn't even realize how much I kind of missed being like competitive. But it really kind of reawakened, I don't know, the confidence to talk and put creative my creations out there and stuff. And so although it's I'm trying to think of exactly how I was getting into this, but all of the outgoing, that's what I was saying. People would tell you that I was outgoing and stuff, but
Mhm.
flip side of that frame is like, I wasn't feeling that way for a long time. And getting back to, that sort of creative part of myself through the vessel of disc golf, is really powerful for me, as cheesy as it sounds. I mean, it really was. It gives me something to do and think about, and a little world in my head when you're caught in traffic. Instead of being pissed about being caught in traffic, I'm like, sick. Yeah, I can't wait to get that artwork idea out. You know what I mean? And it's just
Right,
like
absolutely.
easier to be happy when you got something to aim for. And that's what this whole thing is about. So,
I love it. Uh I have questions. What instrument did you
okay.
play?
Mm.
Or like
I
did
never,
you sing? Sorry.
yeah, I never really played anything. I can keep a beat on the drums. I can keep a couple beats on the drums. I love
Okay.
messing around with synths and stuff, but I was always the front man, and I was a rapper for a minute. I put out a couple mixtapes.
Okay. That's
Sick.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. It was
We've
pretty
I
funny.
don't this is our probably our first rapist on the show.
Rappist, please don't call me that. Somebody's from Canada is going to pronounce it different. It's going to be bad,
I
boy.
know, dude. It's my favorite wave.
Oh, you
But
got
that's
me
awesome.
good. You
What
got me
type
good.
of band was it? Like
Uh,
just
um,
wondering. Sorry.
yeah, we were called Plague Bubonica. It was very sophisticated, right? Because we could have just been called the bubonic plague, but we went with the Latin
Plague
derivative Plague
Bubonica.
Bubonica, right?
Yeah, that's like that's
Uh,
some deep shit.
it was uh, it was me and when I moved from Baltimore up to this kind of boony town. I didn't. I linked up with this one guy at the lunch table because he carried his acoustic guitar for guitar class,
Mhm.
and he would play guitar, and I would improv songs making fun of our friends at the lunch table, and it just became this big hit that we all love. So me and him started a band in high school called the Bubonic Plague. We named it that because we were like in his parents' computer room recording on like Microsoft Voice, and it would just do 60-second clips. So we would
Right.
line up a bunch of them and just
Okay.
but we like pulled an encyclopedia off of the thing and like opened it up, and boom, the band's called the Bubonic Plague.
Oh shit,
And
that's how
then
you did it.
and
That's
then so
awesome.
years later, we didn't take it seriously at all. Like it was, like I said, it was literally songs about like just making fun of our friends and stuff. But years later, we got back together and we were like, well, it's more sophisticated, so we're Plague Bubonica. And it was basically like kind of like punk rock, but it was kind of surfy. Kind of had like some little Dick Dale vibe. But I was
Fuck.
Okay.
All right.
definitely I was
Is it
yelling
on
and
the internet? Sorry.
oh yeah,
Pl-
plaguebubonica.bandcamp.com.
Plug it.
Look it
Yeah,
up.
plug it. Good. Good
Yeah, it's
plug.
cool.
Plug.
Yeah, that was fun stuff.
How old are you?
Just turned 36.
Oh, okay, cool. So you got a
Yeah.
little bit on me, a little bit on Eric too.
Yeah, I'm getting up there. I feel young though. Feel
Fuck yeah.
spry.
It's all in your mind, dude. My other best friend is
Age.
a mid 50s guy. So like, dude, you're good.
You know, I think like being in sort of I was a machine operator for a long time too. And when you're in the workforce like that, like working with people of all different ages, you really do come to a point where you're like, nah, this is cool. Like this 55-year-old guy, I want to hang out with him. Like I'm gonna learn the best from this dude. He's got the best
Exactly.
story. Yeah.
He's
You
already
were
done
gonna
most of the shit.
yeah. Eric was gonna be like, age is nothing but a number, I think. And
Yep.
I'm with you, dog.
Or you're only as old as you feel.
Something like that. Yeah. I feel
I
good.
just have the.
I feel old. uh, sorry, my mom just called me.
You good?
Yeah, she's good. She just wanted to chat. It's all good.
She wanted to check in on Taco. How's
That's
that
it.
dog's mouth?
That's it. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I think that's all my random questions for now, Eric.
Okay. Well,
So,
I have to make it a point to reel myself in. So
I'm a
when I
tangent
stop
guy.
talking, hit me.
Oh, dude,
we
you're
don't
good.
have to get through all these questions. This is just to make sure that we don't run out of things to talk about.
Okay.
You know?
And it's honestly, we go back to the list more for people like where it's like, you're not a stoner, huh?
You don't know how to run on and on
yeah,
and
like
on.
can't just talk for tangents for like.
Yeah, dude, I can definitely talk. I get excited about it.
It's fun.
About yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, but that's like my favorite people to have on is people who are like genuinely fucking so passionate about whatever the fuck they're doing. Like, passion is really important to us, at least as me as in particular as an interviewer. So, yeah, fuck yeah.
How did you
So
guys get into
36.
doing the podcast thing? Were you like interviewing people before, or you just liked disc golf so much and wanted to talk about it together? Were you, do you, I know you've interviewed a couple people, but it seems like there's a lot more podcasts on your list that's just you guys.
That's true. Eric, you
It's
want to
kind
take
of
that
been
one?
yeah, it's been kind of on and off. We had plans to kind of interview more last year, but just yeah, I don't know, life plans and just we did just sometimes hard to work a schedule through and then schedule with people on top of that.
Oh, no doubt.
But we just started the podcast because Kyle moved out to Colorado and we were like talking about disc golf every day on the phone anyway. So we just
Oh,
sat down and recorded. So
dude, that's fresh.
It was
yeah,
fun.
Y'all are
Yeah,
just
it was literally
boys.
like we should record this shit because like we were making each other laugh. Like that was
Yeah,
like the whole goal. So I don't
that's
know. I
cool.
figured people might enjoy that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I enjoy it. I think it's awesome.
Cool. But yeah, and like it's different. Like it feels different interviewing versus like just us bullshitting too.
Mhm.
So like they both have their nice qualities. I don't feel like it would be good to like say we would only ever do one because like they both have their, they're both fun.
Agreed.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, we've
otherwise
met
we
a
would
lot of
like
cool people.
I don't know. I just want to like make friends. Like that's literally by like doing all these interviews. It's just like I like people. I want to make more friends. I feel like I would be friends with pretty much anybody who's been on the show so far if we didn't like live super far away. So
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's what's up.
it's
That's,
fun.
something that's another thing that I guess, um, I'm going back to the thought of like starting the Instagram and how, I think a couple people have kind of questioned, like, this is your brand or something. I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, oh, well, it's just like a lot of posts of you and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, it is. And part of
But
that
that's the
is,
brand. Like
yeah, there's like two sides of that. Like part of it is, I guess part of it is kind of fear because, well, I don't know, it's weird to frame it that way, but I truly believe that with this logo and with the other art ideas that I have and my passion, and I think my ability to connect with people, because this is really authentic. Like that's what I've tried to be very intentional about the whole time, is like making sure that it's absolutely fun, like take fun
Yeah.
seriously, and like keep it really authentic, like to the point like I've never paid for like to boost a post and stuff
Right.
like that. Like it's just, I try to do like some giveaways and stuff, but it's just all been really authentic. And I've kind of felt like if I could get to a point where this shit could blow up, because I really do think that this logo is fire. And, if I hit the right marketing avenues, but like, dude, what if it blows up and I'm not prepared for it? Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
screw myself.
Yeah.
So, but also I do want be to have my face in it, because this is really like like I said, like I want it to be like kind of like a journey. I want to create like a community. I want to make friends. I want to meet
Right.
more people that tell me like, yo, what you write on the shirt should have been a birdie, but it could have been a bogey. When you write that, like I think about that a lot. I did an interview with Maria Oliva, who's like one of my favorite disc golfers,
Mhm.
because she's dope. She's got cool style. She's fun as hell to watch. Her putting is just so smooth. Her backhand drive is like she gets distance and it's smooth as hell. And I'm like, I look up to her a lot as a disc golfer. And then I talked to her and she told me, yeah, I think about like happy with par a lot. I think about the slogan. I had sent
Yeah.
her like a package and stuff one time. When she told me that, I was like, damn, that's cool. And like a lot of other people have told me that. And if that's the way that I can connect like with people, and also if it's encouraging them and helping people have a little bit more fun and helping people kind of take it easier on themselves, like that's what I want to do. I want to connect. I knew I wanted to do interviews and talk about mental health stuff from like the jump. And then I randomly messaged, I think it was Maria first, and she said yes. And I was like, oh shit, they'll talk to me. And
Right.
Oh
then,
yeah.
and then I just did it again. I'm like, Chandler Fry. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And I'm like, oh shit, this is cool. I can do this then.
Right.
And it was weird at first, but that's what I want people to just, see the connection there, see that like the people that we look up to on the disc golf course go through the same mental things that we do on the
For
disc golf
sure.
course.
They're just
Um,
people too. It's crazy.
I beat the by one stroke, and I don't know if I'll get it back because he's sort of local, but Kevin Gleason, who's like the Latitude 64 captain, super cool guy. I beat him by a
Okay.
stroke today. I beat him by a stroke today in the
Ooh.
tournament. I've
Fuck
only
yeah.
played in MA1, and like I don't he would whip my ass any day probably, but like I got him today because
Right.
any day you could do it, any
Right.
day it could be your day or not. I don't know, but yeah,
Disc
I
golf is
want
special
to.
like that. It really
It
is.
is.
I love how huge it is, but at the same time, very, very small to where like people are still very approachable.
You
Except for
guys have
like
like a
bigger stars, I guess. But
Do you guys have a tight knit disc golf community where you are, or in your separate locations?
Eric, go ahead.
Mine's super tight. I live in a really really small rural town, so like my local leagues is pretty much ran by me, and I pretty much I could see like anyone on the course, and I could tell you who it was just by seeing like their bag and
Yeah.
like what they look like from all the way across the course. And then on the other side of me is it's still a very tight knit thing, but it's kind of broken up into like not broken up, but it's like it's a lot of like two clicks. So there's like two local shops that kind of have sponsored, the local players. And while the individual players don't necessarily not like each other, it's the owners don't like each other. So like tournaments are really weird because they plan them for the same weekend, one on a Saturday, one on a
Yeah.
Sunday. And so then
Sucks.
it never get a full tournament. And it's like, oh my God, if you guys could just like whatever, let
Be
Get
everything
over your
friends.
pissing
Like,
contest. Yeah.
yeah, let
Yeah.
everything slide. You guys could just it would be so much better for everyone. So
Yeah.
sounds like the fucking Cold War.
yeah, basically.
It's
Basically.
Basically.
it's a very sassy thing to have going down,
Very
but I
Oh
can
much.
yeah,
see it.
yeah.
I can see it.
I mean,
What about
there's
you,
enough
Kyle?
room for
Kissing
everyone, but
contests.
Absolutely. What about you, Kyle?
Uh,
What's it like in Southeast Denver?
so Denver has a pretty huge disc golf scene. There's multiple shops. There's a disc golf. We have like another round, so like there's a disc golf bar shop
Hmm.
thing. Uh, the main one, oh fuck, my brain, dude, is terrible. There's the Foothill Flyers. There's Mile High. Fuck. Um,
Dragon. It's
Dragon
like a
Tags.
dragon
Thank
disc.
you,
Yeah.
Eric. Thank you. Fuck.
That's the only one I
My
know.
man was
That's
in a
actually the only
conundrum.
one I know.
Yeah, my brain sucks. It happens a lot.
That was good.
Yeah, but dragons. So there's like uh anywhere between like 500 and 800 in that one, and like probably the same for the other one. So and then we have just like multiple of some of the best mountain courses uh in the world. So uh within like a pretty easy drive for me. So I'm in a pretty good spot.
Nice.
It's
So
really quite nice.
I think that is, what makes this what's special about disc golf and makes it feel small while it's huge.
Dude, right?
It's your community. If you have a cool community, then yeah, it can feel very tight knit, even though it is growing to be. I mean, disc golf's going to be in the Olympics, right? I don't know about that
Or
actually. I'm just
something.
repeating something
Yeah,
I
like
heard. But yeah, it's
yeah.
getting fucking huge. It really is, man. And there's something to be said for it. Like, I mean, the way that I get this passionate, and the video that's going viral of Philo from the DGPT like on tour series or whatever,
Oh
where he's
yeah,
talking about it's a way of life that parallels. That's really how a lot of people feel about it. And I think it's because it's, that tight knit community aspect, the fact that
Mhm.
humans, we fucking need nature. We need to be outside. And
Right.
when you start playing disc golf, you start spending a lot more time out there. And there's something really primal and biological going on, if that's the right word. I'm not the smartest guy. But then also, I think it's like that you're not on a team, it's you. And even though you could like pit yourself against other players, like they're not playing defense on you. Like you didn't play against an awesome defense. You just played a tough course or whatever. So there's this really internal, like disciplined, if if you can like harness that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think there's a lot of things
Did you
that
skateboard too?
I did. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. So
It's
you get
this
it.
is the only thing
It's the
that
same.
feels like that close
Yeah.
that I've
Eric
ever
and I both
known.
skated too. So it's we both transitioned into disc golf as like that being
Old men.
our, you know, uh soul
too afraid to break
thing.
bones now. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like
No
I
doubt.
can't break a bone and continue working as much. So
Yeah, no doubt.
um
Like I might roll my ankle jump putting now, but
right, exactly. That's about it.
I'll walk it off.
yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
really
no,
quickly
it's
before.
oh sorry, go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say really quickly before we get away from it, what is your local scene like? What's your like, like how
Oh
close
yeah.
knit and
Yeah, so really my local scene is why I started playing disc golf.
right?
So I live, like I said, right down the street from Delaware. So there's Delaware Disc Golf, which has been going on since I'm pretty sure the mid late 80s. Super strong through the 90s, 2000s. I mean, if you watch disc golf in the past couple years, Iron Hill was one of the big national tour
Yeah.
stops. So pretty huge community in Delaware. Very, very tight knit. They do a lot of great things. And then on the other side of me is a smaller like county, Hartford County, and this is Maryland, and they've got a disc golf scene. And they've got like two 18-hole courses and like a 9-hole. So it's not like huge, but they do a lot. They're very, very active. And then where I am, I have a buddy who we started working together like 15 years ago. We used to go, him, I, and another guy, we used to do camping trips where we would go camping for a couple of days and just party down basically, and party down in the woods and ride bikes on trails, and life was really interesting. And then he would always try to take me to play disc golf at one of these state park courses, and I fucking hated it. I hated it so bad because where it's summertime at a disc golf course, I'm a little bit fucked up. There's bugs. I'm walking. It's humid here, and I couldn't
Yeah.
keep the disc on the fairway. So it was miserable to me. I didn't see the allure at all. I fucking hated it. And then we get back home, and this one day he hits me up and he's like, "Bro, can you help me out over at Calvert Park?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we go over there, long story long. Um, got a 6-pack, go out into the woods with a 6-pack and a box of those like little hazard flags. And he's like, "Stand right here." So I'm just standing there with a flag and a beer, and he disappears, and he's like, "Yo, bro." And I'm like, he's like, "Can you see me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Backs up a little bit more. He's like, "Can you see me now?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Stick the flag in the ground." So I'm building the disc golf course with him, or not really, but I'm helping him scout out this disc golf course. And I had
I have
no
no
clue,
idea what
like
I'm
Yeah,
doing.
no
no
idea what's
idea.
going on, but
I'm
helping.
literally like, I'm like kind of pissed off. I'm like, dude brought me out here. He's just got me in the fucking cold woods because like best time to now I get it. Best time to groom a fairway is in winter, right? But
Right.
I'm just
Mhm.
freezing. Like, the fuck, man. I thought we were gonna hang out. Um, so that went on for he did that for a couple months, like just planning that shit. And anyway, at the end of the day, he got an 18 hole put in at like at like a local park that was only like 10, 15 minutes from me. It was a pretty big deal. And when I saw how all these people showed up, I was like, I didn't know that people disc golfed around here because I didn't
Right.
go to Delaware courses. So I was like, holy shit, there are tons of people out here. And all my homies, like I've never been one to really have a lot of friends, but sort of through like a couple buddies, right? There's these extended friend groups. And you show up on a disc golf course, and like you said, Eric, all of a sudden 35 guys now. And it's kind of funny too, because it's like I'll tell them to their faces, like, "Bro, I wouldn't have you can't come to my house, but like I'll play disc golf with you any day." You know what I mean? Like, but I
Yeah.
just saw how I got kind of jealous of all the bromance, and I was like, I need to figure this out, dude. I need to play disc golf, and I want to hang out with these guys, and I want to. And once it bit me, I've just been hooked. So since then, that was in 2018, I think, and I didn't play disc golf at all, and except for those camping trips. Um, since then, we've put in 5 18-hole courses and 1 9-hole at a local high school. So in like 5 years, and one of our courses, we brought Brantwood skins match. So we brought Gatekeeper Media and filmed the skins match with James Conrad, Nathan Queen, Ricky Wysocki, and Matty O. And like that was a huge deal. So my disc golf scene is super tight knit. I mean, it's why I got so into it so fast because like I just saw how much was happening. I was like, yeah, I want to be involved. I want to do something good. Like I said,
Right.
I think I always want to be able to help something, do something good. And I just saw a lot of good to be done. And
It was a big day for me too when I like realized that we weren't just like throwing plastic at trees. It was there was like a whole sport around it, and there was like people who were professionals at it. That was like for me, that was like, wait, this is like a thing? People
yeah.
do this? Like that was mind blowing for me for like a whole second. So I
And
totally get that.
so I showed up to Iron Hill in like 2018 when I'm first, starting to get turned on to it, but before I'm really playing. Or no, it wasn't even 2018, it was 2019. Um, it's like when I'm first starting to get turned on, right? And yeah, I'm getting to watch like the Michael Jordan of this sport, like the best of the
Hmm.
best is out there right in front of us, which that was also something really cool because no doubt I've always been, I, I like to fan out, skate.
Yeah,
I had a, favorite skateboarder for sure.
sure.
And, definitely I was a Miami Dolphins fan because of Dan Marino and Ace Ventura, and I loved, you know what I mean? So it was cool to be able to see, to be that close to the sport, like you're kind of saying, realizing it was a bigger thing, and then to be that close to it, I thought was super cool too. You couldn't do that
Super cool.
in the NBA or something.
No, like yeah, the comparable is insane. Uh, like going the first thing that I experienced like a professional in disc golf too was at 303, and watching like Eagle throw like 650 feet was just like boom, like my
Yeah.
mind just like exploded into a
Yeah.
million pieces. I'm sure there was that moment like when you're watching fucking Matty O and those fucking guys play too. It's just like, holy shit, this is a different
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was funny, like when they played that court. That course is an old ball golf course that they like went bankrupt. The state owned it for a while, and they donated it to Cecil County Parks and Rec. My
Okay.
buddy who got the first course started, basically got aerial view photos, built this
Yeah.
course in his mind, and was like, "Come on, let's do it again." You see how the other one, and they were like, "Okay." So that one's like a pretty big. It's a ball golf course. It's pretty long,
Yeah.
and not everybody, but a lot of people in our community are like, "Damn," and I am too. I'm like, "Yo, it's a fucking long course. Like it'll wear you out. It'll
Right.
really get you exhausted." I don't have a huge arm. When those guys played it, like the first thing my boy was like, "Shit, we gotta make Brantwood longer," and everybody was like, "Fuck, we don't want to make it longer." We're like, "Dude, if they shredded it like that, we gotta make it longer."
Right.
So yeah, it was one of those perspective moments where, but I don't know, it's impressive too, man. Like,
It makes you want to play to that level because you know it's there. Like
yeah,
he's done it. He doesn't
and
look much different than me.
if body types like Calvin and Eagle can, I mean, they're not super muscular guys. Like, don't get me wrong, they're athletic as hell, but like, are they like the strongest dudes? Like, nah, but you don't have to be.
Right.
And flip side of the coin, like there's there's dude in a wheelchair that throws amazing shots on Instagram. There's like some heavy set guys, there's like it's just, and you can do, if you got an arm, you could throw a disc.
I
And
mean,
it's just,
look at Squint from Sandlot. He's out there throwing discs.
is he? Is that a real
No,
thing?
Emerson Keith looks like Squints, I think.
Squints. All right.
He does, yeah.
I thought they were, it was a viral video or something. They had your boy out
He
there
might be.
Squints,
Who knows? He might be.
He should.
in some like True Religion jeans and some
Yeah.
bedazzled Jordans or something, all
Haslam
Hollywood.
Jordans.
He would.
I
Squints
can see
would.
it.
Emerson Keith, I got a funny story about him. He's cool as hell. I met him for like 2 minutes. When we were at Iron Hill, there's this road. What do you call it? Like a hazard, not a hazard. It's like this fucking road that the parks use to like drive in the fucking park or whatever.
Like a service road.
We got you.
Yeah,
we got
service
you.
road. There we go. So there's this. Yeah. So there's this service road that runs back there, and when they would have like the big tournaments, we would drive back on that service road, and you kind of sit right on the edge, and you got like the tee of hole 15 is right here, and I think like hole 13 is right here or something. So you get to watch hole 12. You get to watch like a couple different holes all at once. So you see a lot of pros moving through and everything. So it's kind of like a little party setup, We have a bunch of tables and everything out. And like while the card's walking through, I think it was like Paul Uleberry and Colton Montgomery, and I might be making I might be totally wrong. Anyway, Emerson Keith like comes by and he sees this table that we have with like all these snacks and sandwiches and shit laid out, and he's like, like in the middle of like somebody's like lining up a putt and shit, and he's like, "Are these for the players?" And we're like, "Yeah, man, you want something? Come on over." So he like drops his bag and he runs off of the course real quick, and like whoever's getting ready to putt is like this motherfucker,
like, God damn it. Come on, dude.
Here he comes over, he's like, "So what do you got here?" We're like, "Oh, I got like bologna and cheese and ham and cheese." And he's like, "Oh man, this is cool." And he takes a sandwich and, kind of like chit chats. I think he signs a disc and he like walks back to his bag, just like eating a bologna and cheese sandwich. And that's the end of that story.
Right.
But
no, but if you ever want to be friends with Emerson Keith,
have
bring
sandwiches.
a sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like
Yeah,
that's awesome. I do a
it
story.
was cool.
Like
It was cool.
I fucking love that.
That's how you capture an Emerson Keith. You just
Yeah, with like a box and like a
yeah.
stick and like a
Yep.
string, so you can
Yeah,
yeah. You just put the sandwich under the box.
Yep.
Catch
just
yourself
reel
an
that,
Emerson Keith.
just fish him in there, just reel him on in there.
Oh
Put a
yeah.
little Italian, little cold cut on a hook. Get your boy.
Oh fuck. Oh god.
You want to touch about being a Clash ambassador? Congratulations, first of all.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Thank you. That
What
is
are you?
the one of the coolest thing that's ever happened. I get to be a Clash ambassador.
Yeah.
It's like no, but seriously, when you go back to the skateboarding thing, like
Yeah.
when I was young teen, hot into the skateboarding scene, like the coolest thing that could happen is you would get sponsored by something, by like a
Yeah.
local skate shop or something like that, right? And
Uh-huh.
I was never,
Anyone.
yeah,
Somebody's
anybody.
parents.
Yeah, yeah. Like my dad's got like, I got sponsored by Art Vanderlei, import exporter. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it would just be, it was definitely always, I just thought it'd be so sick to be able to be sponsored by something when I was younger. Definitely wasn't something that I really considered or thought about like starting to play disc golf. Um, but yeah, I did Clash did an Instagram giveaway or contest. It was like name our new driver. That's how they came up with the Wild Honey. That was not my guess. My guess was, or my offer rather,
Suggestion.
my
Yeah.
suggestion was the almond. I thought the almond would be pretty cool.
I like
And
it.
so they didn't pick the almond, but they DM'd me and were like, "Hey, we think that was a still a cool idea, so we want to send you a little something." And at the time, once they said that to me, I was like, "Oh, that's really cool that they're gonna hook me up." And I had already bought a mango, so I just started posting the mango on fucking Instagram. Whatever.
Right.
Like
Uh-huh.
that's what everybody does. They just promote their whatever they're using. So I was like, I thought they were really nice that they were gonna send me some free shit. So I was like, yo, check out this mango that I just bought. Started throwing that. I ended up getting this box in the mail from them with like a stack of discs. And at the time, you couldn't like buy any of their stuff anywhere. So I thought that was extra cool.
Right.
I've also just been super into the idea of like big in Japan. You know what I mean? If you've ever sort of heard that, uh,
Yeah.
in a band and everything, it's kind of
Right.
cool. Like if you're super famous in another country, but
Yeah.
everybody thinks you're just like a working Joe, like big in Japan. Like I don't know. Anyway,
I get
I thought
it. That's funny.
I thought there was this cool like allure to the fact that they're like this Finnish company that nobody else is really I don't know fucking with, but I was just genuinely super interested in their branding. I thought that the aesthetic was really clean. I thought the idea of like the snack names was funny and cool, and their plastic is really the shit. Like a lot of people compare it to Castaplast. Have you ever thrown any Castaplast stuff?
Yeah. That's what I've
Um,
heard about it.
I've never thrown any Castaplast, but I say that because I know a lot more people have thrown that than they've thrown Clash.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I just kind of figured, once they sent me that round of discs, like this is so nice. I was smitten, and I actually liked them all. So I just was, posting them a lot and giving a lot of feedback, and they would always read my messages and they would never answer me. And I didn't know why. I sort of chalked it up to maybe, the language barrier. And then like a couple months later, another package would come with a bunch more discs, and I would never know. And it was just really cool and fun. And so I just kept posting their shit, and because I genuinely like it. It's easy. The molds are easy to get used to. They're stuff that everybody needs to throw. And the fact that they kind of like put faith in me to represent their brand on social media, even though I'm a fucking 900 rated, MA1 player. Like I'm not a pro, but I think there's another piece of like building confidence through disc golf there. Like there's a lot more people that throw like me than throw like Ricky. So to have a review from me is worth it. right? Like I had
Right.
to
Yep.
kind of like I had to like remind myself that. And
Like your opinion is valuable, and
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like a lot of people are gonna want to throw Clash, and but not have an opportunity right now. But they're curious, and their arms probably more like mine than So,
Eric
um,
yep,
Oakley.
right.
yeah, yeah. Then Eric Oakley, right? The way that he throws a spice looks awesome, and then you get one in your hand, it probably won't look quite like that. But if you see me throw it, you might have a better idea of like what you're getting yourself into.
If you really
Um,
need it or not.
yeah. So I don't know if I really need the spice. It's like I love that's been a really really fun one. But I'm throwing a ginger too, which the ginger is was immediately replaced my sexy bird. It's just like a Sexton Firebird. Um,
Gotcha.
it's money, but they're similar. I'm pushing the Felon a little bit further. It's has a tiny bit of turn. But anyway, yeah, so when Clash offered me the opportunity to be on their Team USA this year, like I just thought it was so cool. It was kind of one of those things that was weird. I felt like sort of like imposter syndrome, like, oh
Like, is this
shit,
real?
yeah, like I get to do
Are they
this, like
fucking with
why?
me?
And then like today, my first tournament of the year, and I wore my Team Clash hoodie, and like as soon as I got there, one of my boys was like, "Big time, sponsored by Clash," and I'm like, "Shit, I really got something. Like I got a reputation to
You gotta
uphold."
win now. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. It was, and it's like definitely pressure, or
Yeah.
it was kind of like a little bit of pressure, but also like they have basically told me too, and apparently they've told their like whole pro team this, like open bag, don't throw our shit if you don't want to. Like if you step up to a tee pad and there's not a Clash disc in your bag that you want to throw something else, then it's because we got a problem. So like let's work on that together. So that's really cool.
That is really
I
cool.
Yeah.
throw their stuff off of probably 85% of my shots. The only one thing is like I throw a Rhino or now a Slammer a lot, just a really overstable putter, and
Mhm.
I don't have one of those from Clash yet. So hopefully it's
Ooh.
coming soon. But
All right.
Right.
That's yeah, they gotta do it now. You put it
The
into the
almond.
ether.
yeah, I'm saying that'd be so cool if they named it the Almond.
That would be sick.
Then I'd
So
really be getting confidence, dude.
all right. So what's your favorite disc from their lineup?
The
Um,
almond, bro. No, I'm so
the
sorry.
I didn't tell you guys. I'm not supposed to leak this, but it is on the way. The Almond is on the way. It's my favorite disc that I've ever thrown. If they hear this, then
Oh, you
fucking
fucked. Yeah. Off the team.
how many other Clash guys are doing interviews like this, talking all cool? You have to make
Right.
it for me. It's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's been changing. Right now, I think it's the soda. It's
Okay.
understable
Understable.
fairway driver, and I've been throwing the soda a lot. And I never really threw a whole lot of understable stuff, but this thing's just really workable and it's got a low reliable fade back. So it's just not like I think when I've tried to throw over understable stuff before, it just flips over on me and I'm like, I can't
Mhm.
do this.
Right.
But this
Yeah.
one feels comfy.
Yeah, you can flip it without it diving
Yeah.
into the dirt.
And I've been throwing forehand shots with it too, and that's something that I never ever did. I only ever really threw like a Firebird or a Wraith or
Mhm.
like an overstable mid range. I would throw those forehand, the Rhinos a lot, but I never threw anything understable and had that shot in my bag that's you're throwing forehand to get left. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Right.
Like that shot was always I'm throwing backhand, but there might be a tree at this point in the fairway that you need to flex past and now still
Mhm.
get some of that reliable fade. The soda's doing
Hmm.
that for me. I mean, I just released that thing flat and let it. So that's probably
Fuck
my
yeah.
favorite at the moment. Yep.
Hmm. I
So
love that.
do you want to create a 5 mold bag with all Clash discs that you could give to anybody to, and they have everything that they would need.
All right.
Beginners, pro.
Yeah,
I
fire.
would go start. I would go with a popcorn for the putter. I'm really digging that one for throwing and putting between the two plastics. I think a lot of it's getting really good reviews. A lot of other people like it as well. So Go with that one. Go with the Mint for your overstable approach disc. That one's similar to like a Zone or maybe like kind of like a Harp. Um, and then let's go with a Berry,
Let's
which
be
is
honest. Then it's a Zone clone.
I've heard people say it feels like a beaten Harp.
Okay, so
That's what
but a Harp is a Zone clone. So
I mean. Isn't a Toro? What's a
I
Toro?
I mean,
Everything's a clone of something else.
I
Yeah,
know. I'm just fucking around. Sorry.
yeah. It's that fucking disc. It's that
Yeah, it
overstable
really
4-speed
is.
disc that everybody has to have in their bag. The
Yeah.
Mint.
Every single person. But yeah.
Uh, and then no, but you're right. You're definitely right. But I
You
would
No,
said a
definitely.
berry.
I throw harps too
But
interchangeably.
you need
So
it. That's a mold that, or that's like a type of disc that I think is very useful. So I'm going to give you the popcorn. I'm going to give you the mint. I'm going to give you the berry, which is, I think, a pretty neutral mid range. It's like a 5-speed, 5.5,
Yeah.
-1.1
Buzz numbers.
buzz numbers. Is that 1, 2, 3? Oh, I got two more. Cool. Perfect. I wanted two more. I'm going to do the cookie is a 7-speed, so a fairway driver. It's got a little bit of fade to it, but it's not super beefy. And that plastic, dude, is super torque resistant. So you can throw that thing forehand as well and not flip it over. And
okay.
then finally, we'll go with the ginger. You need a overstable driver as well. So
What
the
speed is that
ginger,
guy? Or like what it would be?
9-speed. So we're
9?
gonna
Okay.
go 9-speed ginger, 7-speed cookie, 5-speed berry, 4-speed mint, 3-speed popcorn. That's your 5 clash disc bag, and you could dominate any course with those discs.
Yeah.
Thank me later.
That was super tight and like professional. Yeah, one
Yeah,
take
that
guy
was
right
well
there.
done.
Right.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
I'm actually
Who's your
buying them
favorite
all right now
skater?
as we speak.
But I sorry, that was a question I came up with. Who's your favorite
Just now.
pro skater?
Right now,
Like
I'll
back in
be
the day, not
uh
now. Like I mean, I don't really follow as much
Both.
as I did.
Give us
So
both.
yeah, if you still
my
follow,
favorite skateboarding thing to follow now just is Thrasher's Instagram. There are so many, I don't even know their names, dude, because I don't keep up with it as much, but I still like to watch the shit, man. It's
right?
impressive, dude. Um, Back in the so yeah, I don't know. I can't really keep up. Like I thought Nigel Houston was still like a kid, and
Right.
I saw him recently, and I was like, "Oh, this dude will kick my ass." Oh my God. Um, so I don't really know a whole lot of new skateboarders, but I still love to follow the Thrasher page. I still follow, I think, like S skateboarding, so like the ES, like the shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Back in the day, the loyalty thing, being from Baltimore, I loved Bucky Lassick. He was
Okay.
like so sick
Okay.
to me. I also got to meet him. He was super, super nice to me and stuff. But really who my favorite skater was Tom Penny. That guy was so crazy, dude. He was just so cool. And I thought he was so cool because he was like so mysterious. There was always like this shit like was like be like Tom Penny disappeared, and then all of a sudden this video part would come out, and it's just like him skating like mini ramps in a warehouse in France, and there's just like French classical music playing like really really loud in a warehouse, so it's like all echoey and really eerie, and it's just like Tom Penny in the baggiest fucking pants and a beanie
All right. Well,
shredding
now I
these
have
mini
to. I
ramps.
have something to watch after this. Thank
Oh,
you.
dude,
I
it's so
appreciate that.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, probably could like YouTube like Tom Penny France warehouse, and you'll find those vids.
All right, I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, because I don't have any idea of what I like. I don't know who he is, but like
Tom Penny,
I yeah I can think I can't remember. Fuck, I'm terrible people and names
he
and
was on like the
places and
flip
things.
team back in
Oh,
the
okay,
day. Remember when
Yeah.
like he was like on the flip team when like Jeff Rowley was really really killing it, and
got you.
like I guess like right before it kind of got like flip kind of switched over to like the Arto Sari Ali
Mhm.
Buyala sort of era,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, I
that's
think
when the
our big skateboarding era was a little bit behind yours. Like we knew
okay.
Tom Penny,
a
but it's
little
not
bit.
like the ones we were watching. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went like our flip team. Yeah, was like the all the newer kids, and no, it was kind of getting past like the baggy clothing wasn't in anymore
Okay,
for
yeah.
skateboarders. So
Yeah, that's when like what the piss drunks came through, and it was like Eric Ellington crew
Mhm.
yeah,
and like
Yeah.
Andrew Reynolds. Who did he skate for? Did he skate for
mm,
Baker? Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, Baker.
he went to Baker after like the Birdhouse era.
hmm
So
Dude.
I guess I'm a wealth of knowledge in the skateboarding realm too, if we're talking
Fuck
90s,
yeah.
2000s.
But like that's perfect. That's like I'm sure that like a ton of people fell off right after that time because we all broke ourselves and couldn't continue that.
Right? Yeah.
I
You're like,
feel
I
like that was
can't
like a
do it anymore.
general movement, and I feel like so many skateboarders just switch right into that disc golf life just because it's I don't know. I get a lot of like the same vibes. You're
Yeah.
outdoors. You're like there's community to it. It's a lot of the same vibes.
Yeah.
yeah. You're
I
just
think
chilling
it's
with friends, competing, but not necessarily competing against them. Like you want to see them land that trick, or you want to see them lace the drive just as much as you want to land that trick, or you want to lace that drive.
Yeah, seriously, there is a lot of camaraderie in it. And but at the same time, I think it's like, you know, with skateboarding, you get a lot of maybe misfits that come together, right? A lot of kind of oddballs or whatever and I think a lot of us, when we're talking about that experience, we were younger, right? So it's like kind of kids, it doesn't really, you just seemed like all different kids from different,
For sure.
oddball
Yeah, it's not like
houses
a
or
team
whatever.
sport. You could take anybody and they could
So
be a skater.
you all might have some like little demons and shit. Something that
Yeah.
something inside you that makes you like that test, that constant test of
Mhm.
landing the trick. Or now it's like lacing the line every on all 18 holes. Because like you said, Eric, and I said it before, like I'm going out trying to throw my PR every round. And like
Yep.
as soon as it's not necessarily great, but like there's some courses where hole one, soon as you miss the bird or whatever, you're like, well,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's like this round's fucked. Like, damn it.
Yeah, well, this round's done. Yeah, it's
I'll say
like,
I go out and I just aim to have those shots that keep me coming to the next one. Like I want to shoot a great
Yeah.
score, but I want to make like the 80-foot jumper for par or whatever,
oh hell yeah.
or the amazing scramble shot, from someplace. I've played this course hundreds of times and I've never landed here. I want to scramble from there. Is what keeps me going. But I mean I want to get my highest score, but or
Yeah,
lowest score. But
I think what you're talking about becomes the goal or game for me after I bogey
after
hole
once,
one. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
one's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
It's like a side mission.
Mhm.
It's like, well,
It's like you have your main.
I'm
Fuck
not
that
gonna
one. Yeah.
complete the campaign this time around, but
Yep.
at least I got a couple side missions like throwing this forehand flex line to save a
Yep.
par, and then
Exactly.
tap it in and go happy with par, and people are like, and I'm like, no, seriously, fuck yeah, I am happy with par. Good job. Okay, talk yourself back into it, dude. Let's get back in it.
Right. Like
Yeah,
it's okay. Just so it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's a lot of
yeah.
self talk.
Seriously, man.
So at our local doubles league, we have a lot of beginners, like a lot of people who've only played for 2 months, or a lot of people who are just kind of like they'll show up once a month, and you really don't see them out on the course. And so they're always like afraid to do doubles. And when they come out, and if I get them as a partner, I always tell them, I said, no matter where we land, we're going to make that putt. I don't care if we hit the first available and we're behind the tee pad. We're going to make that putt. And that's like just like kind of like the mentality I try to like
Mm,
bust into them is just like you can make it. Like it doesn't matter. I mean, and
yeah,
if you miss, then we'll make that one. And
yeah, yeah. Run it every time though, because
confidence in
we're playing
yourself. Yeah.
doubles.
Right.
Yeah.
I think too, like doubles is the absolute best way to get started in disc golf, to get started playing, because it
It's
gives you
scary, but
it is.
depending
And
on
that's what my next part was going to be, is like, but man, is it tough to step into the arena for the first time. You know what I
Oh, for
mean?
sure.
Because these are kind of like tight knit communities. So you show up to a thing where like it's 30 guys, and then they're like, all right, bring it in, and everybody's kind of like, cool, yeah.
Right.
And you're standing there like,
And
fuck, I
probably,
want to.
like half to three quarters of those guys all know each other already
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like,
totally. And then you show up, but I definitely did that at first, and I already, knew some of the guys. But I remember one round I played with a guy, and he was definitely the A player, and I was a B player, and he told me, like straight out of the gate, he's like, "Don't say sorry to me," and I was like,
Yep.
"Huh?" And he was like, "Don't apologize for any shots today," and I was like, "Okay," and like three times I was like I was
yeah,
about to be like, "Sorry, dude," and it was like. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
We're here for
Uh-huh.
fun. Monday night doubles
And
is for fun.
all they want, all people want you to do, as long as you can show that you're trying. If you just like
Yep.
give up and don't even try, of course they're going to be mad at you. But
Yeah.
if they can see that you are trying, they don't care.
Yeah.
right.
No, they don't. I played
They're
today
not out there to make it rich.
in the tournament I
Most
played
people.
today.
Go
Most
ahead.
people,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I'm saying those like $80 you win at
Oh, it's huge.
local doubles, like if that, right? That's
Yeah.
only in the summertime. Shit.
Hmm.
But today I'm playing MA1, so tournament split into 2 days. So it was like the pro and MA1. And so actually Andrew Fish was at the tournament today, which is kind of cool because like
Oh, hell yeah.
he
That
throws
is
for
way
disc
cool.
grab.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I got a disc signed by him and stuff. It was kind of nerdy of me, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I thought was
Dude,
so sick.
it's
But
so okay though. I'm sure that like anytime they probably think it's awesome that people fan
yeah,
out over them,
he's like eating a sandwich like at lunch break, and I'm like, I see his little disc setup, and I'm just like, huh, hey man, how's it going? Yeah, no biggie. I think I'll grab one of these. I'll just have you sign it if you don't care. And he's just like, huh, yeah, I'll sign it. I'm like, okay,
All right,
cool.
so second person that if you want to be best friends with them,
Yeah,
bring a
sandwich.
sandwich, dude.
I didn't give him the sandwich. He was prepared. He
All
brought this
right,
one.
well, it'll work either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet
But
you if you offered him a sandwich, he'd be like, "Yeah,
you
Yeah.
take that sandwich. If you offered me a sandwich, I'm probably gonna take it, depending. I mean, what lunch meat we're talking about. But back to the original point is
Right.
I had a guy on my card who was like, as soon as we got to the first tee pad, he's like, I just want to let you all know now. I meant to sign up for yesterday and I accidentally signed up for today. I shouldn't be playing with men of your caliber. And I'm like, I was like, bro, seriously, John, you said? I'm like, John, don't do that, man. I'm like, we are just chilling. He's like, okay, I promise I won't hold you guys up. And I'm like, dude, you better not be rushing because like I only get one chance today. Like, it's cool. But
Right. Like,
it was funny.
relax.
It was just funny because I remember kind of being in his shoes. And
Yeah.
now that I'm on the other side, now that I've kind of been in the community for a while and I recognize the importance to make people feel comfortable because I recognize how good disc golf has been for me. Like, there is really, it's kind of growing the sport is kind of funny, right? Because it does mean that your courses are going to be busier and yada, yada. But dude, I wish I'd have found it sooner. So I want to show
True
other
story.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
hmm
And this guy, John, was like, he said, I usually play MP50, blah, blah. So he's an older guy, but he was so cool. He calmed me down a couple times. It was like
right."
so cool. He was
That's
like, hey,
awesome.
brother, just let it ride. And I'm like, fuck yeah, John, I should just let it ride. You're right, dude. Tell me something else. Like, let's walk away and have a convo. He was cool as
like,
shit.
like John, let's be best friends. Can you just let's just
He
quit. Let's just go
actually
be
told
friends.
me, he actually told me he was like, as we are playing, he's like, you guys ever heard of Tony Robbins? And I'm like the the motivational speaker. And he's like, yep. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of him. And he's like, yeah, I used to write for him. I used to be his life coach. And I was like, no shit. And he's like, yeah, Zig Ziglar. And I'm like, yeah, like the old like television guy or whatever. And, I don't really know. He was like a television salesman or something, I think. He's
Yeah.
like, yep, yeah, I used to write for him. I was a life coach for him and all this. I'm like, damn, that's cool. He's like, so he was telling me that's why he was like helping me, like bringing me back. He's like,
Yeah.
yes, I do this for a living, man. I'm just an inspiration, or I'm just like a motivational coach. And I'm like, I was like still kind of like in my little pissed off head, but I was also like having fun with him. And I'm like, cool, dude. Well, I'm usually used to like CT Fletcher or something, so you're gonna need to like kick it into high gear. And I don't know if you
Right.
know who CT Fletcher is, but he's like this super aggressive bodybuilder who's had
Oh,
like
got you.
3 heart transplants, but he's still like, it's still
Just
your
going for it.
motherfucking. He like screams at his muscles and he's like, grow, motherfucker, and all this type of stuff. So I told him like that's the motivational speaking I like, and he got a huge kick out of it. And yeah, me and John, we had a connection out there today. It was cool.
That's awesome, dude. And that
Yeah.
is literally the best part of disc golf too. It's like the randomness of like you could just make a friend on any
Yeah.
fucking given day if you put yourself
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, dude. I think he followed me on Instagram now too. So like me and John are probably gonna keep in touch a little bit, you know?
I mean,
Right.
he sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah, he was cool, man.
Honestly.
He was cool. I seriously might hit him up sometime and be like, let's talk a little bit. Like, teach me about my way of thinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Like
he actually did this shit. Like, and this is something that like I'm always
probably
striving
has
to
put
be
a yeah,
better.
he's put a lot of thought to life and the motivations behind it. That's gotta be a really wildly interesting job to
Right? You
just
could
like
have some conversations with this guy. I could just tell.
pick
You
that
can
guy's
just see
brain.
something in him. Yeah. You can just see something in that guy's face. He's had conversations that have pierced the veil. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
He's been to the other side and he came back to teach us about it.
That's what you
Maybe,
gotta
I don't
do.
know.
I
Whoa.
mean, if we talk to him more.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get him on this podcast.
I
I'll
gotta
pull
do it,
Can't
John.
John
All
wait.
in.
right. Well, I don't, we'll hit him up on Instagram and see if he wants to. John, you're always welcome. We always said anybody who's thrown a disc can be on.
Yep.
John
So
threw some discs today. I seen it.
how do you play?
Uh, you know, I mean, his score didn't look great. His scorecard didn't look great, but once again,
But
he was
he's
playing
having
his
fun
game.
though, right?
Yeah, dude, he hit a couple sick putts. He was putting with a birdie. You know,
All right. Yeah,
it's
those
kind
big
of like a
old rim.
mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had this really cool putt where he would like pull it up like this, and I was waiting for him to just throw it into the basket every time. Because he would go,
Got you.
and he would throw like this Annie putt with the big birdie lid, and he was
Gotcha.
all over the basket. But he sunk a couple from far away, and yeah, he was cool to play with. So it was
That
fun.
sounds really cool though. Sounds like a cool uncle. I
Yeah. Uncle John,
Yeah,
who
Uncle. Oh my
always,
gosh.
who
All
can
right, let's have Uncle
always
John on the show.
reel you back in. He can always reel you back in. Your girl broke up with you. You better call Uncle John.
Oh
He's
my
gonna put
god.
you on some game real quick. Lost your job? Why don't you call Uncle John?
Call Uncle
I bet you
John.
he's got a couple prospects for you.
We got a brand for him, man. Like,
Happy with
why is he
John.
writing for other people? He should be the fucking face of the operation.
You need a facilitator? Better call Uncle John. You know, side note, I also have done, this is actually real. I've done some radio commercials.
Okay.
So me and my brother-in-law, who I don't know why I'm telling you this right now, I'm just bragging.
All
But
right.
me and my brother-in-law, who used to make music together all the time, he opened up a studio. And we like just get in there and fuck around and make some music and stuff sometimes. But we got
Yeah.
on this kick where we were like, dude, we should make radio jingles. So we started hitting up some local businesses, and we got this
Would you
heating
like
and air.
make the jingle before and then hit them up or what? Oh, okay.
Nope, we were
Hit them
just
up
like
for the
we
jingle.
were just
Got
hitting them
you.
up, and we were just telling them like we made this template email, and we were like, look, we've done a lot of radio jingles. We're pros at this shit. We have all of this like all of this sound engineering experience. The studio is on Main Street. Like there's actually a brick and mortar studio. So like there was a lot of proof there that we were professional enough, but never
Right.
fucking wrote a jingle ever. I mean, like just rap songs and shit at that by that. Um, anyway, this heating and air conditioning company was actually like, yeah, cool, you can do a commercial for us. So they send us this sort of like this loose script, and they're like, use this script, go back and forth like it's two friends, and the one friend is telling the other friend how I got this awesome job offer recently, and I just started. It's great. And
Yeah.
so I went in there and I was like, man, this shit's kind of whack, bro. This back and forth thing, like it feels
Yeah.
too forced. Like one take, Tony's in the building. Turn that mic on. Let's get this shit hot.
Yeah.
So I just hit him with this. One of my favorite things ever is the Italian accent because it's never racist. Like anybody can do an Italian accent, and you're
Yeah.
just good to go.
Right.
So I hit this like, and it's not even really Italian. It's just like that Sopranos, Hey, let me tell you something, buddy. So I
Yeah.
do this thing where it's like, I just do this Italian accent and basically talk about this job, and it played on the radio. It was fucking hilarious. Just me, like, hey, my name's Tony, and I'm not here to sell you a pizza. I just got to tell you about the greatest new job that I landed. And I just go into this spiel about I got a job with 4-day work weeks and benefits and paid time off. And they ran it on the radio around here. It was so funny. So if you're listening to this right now, that means that you're into podcasts, radio, and maybe even commercials. If you
And
need a
heating and
podcast,
cooling companies.
If his
and
voice
yeah, and
sounds
if,
familiar, it's because he's famous.
Yep. I'm Tony, the heating and air conditioning guy from Cecil County, Maryland.
If if you would have just come on the show with that persona and that whole vibe,
You would have bought it?
it sounds pretty real.
I
wouldn't have questioned you.
I get caught in it sometimes, and like I just fucking can't. I can't stop. My girl's
Can't
like,
turn it off.
all right, it was funny. Now quit. And I'm like, look, babe, we got to fucking figure something out here. We got to figure something out.
Like, this is me now.
Is there not a common ground? Does a confused man not deserve a resolution? She's like, what?
Did you hear it on the radio? Like,
oh yeah, I listened to that station religiously for weeks, dude. Every time I heard it, I was like Snapchatting. I'm like, yo, you hear this? Listen, turning my radio off all loud.
Like, that's fucking me.
That's me, baby. It'd be like all staticky. My friend would be like, no, what was it? I'm like, it was me. It was me. I was on the classic, like the Goldie, classic gold station or whatever, like based out of Havre de Grace. It only had service for like a 30-mile radius, dude, but it was me.
But that's me. That's sick, though. Put that on the resume.
That was pretty funny. I'm saying, dude, I'm just, I'm everywhere. That's why I'm not limiting myself to clothing. I'm going to do podcasts. I'm going to do commercials.
That's it, man.
I want to do visual commercials on television and YouTube.
There you go. You got it.
What did he say earlier? Something about got a good look for radio. I think I got a good look for radio.
Yeah, we got the looks. We got the looks.
I got a good look for radio. I'm basically a total package. And I'm seasoned. I'm 36 years old. I've been through it. We can cut the bullshit immediately.
Exactly. That's right. You've done music now. You've done commercials. You've done podcasts. You've been the interviewer too.
Yeah, and I've been the interviewer. So I'm sick of this. Give me the next
What's next?
Game. What's next? I don't know. You tell me.
You just got to get a mic and watch the videos of AJ Risley doing interviews at what was it? I think it's at DDO. Yeah. Either last year, or the year before that. You just got to do stuff like that.
What's he doing? What is he being?
Just like asking goofy questions.
Okay.
Just
yeah. Hey, Eric, I have a goofy question. This is a good transition. Perfect. Good job. All right. Sorry, I got excited because like I never remember this kind of stuff.
Anybody ever tell you kind of look like Simon, Kyle?
No.
You kind of got a Simon. You kind of got a little Simon/Eagle thing going on right now, dude. You got the complexion of Simon, but the glasses and the hair sweet. You got a little eagle thing going on.
Gotcha.
Sorry, that was just a random thought.
Thanks. You're good.
My eyes getting small.
This is the big, most important question of the show.
Weird question.
Do you think fish get thirsty?
Huh. I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they could. No, they don't. drinking is probably a part of their just being, right? I mean, they have to. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a tough question, right?
That is a really good one. I feel really dumb for having even put that thought process out loud for a second.
Well, fish pee, right? Do fish pee?
I know they poop.
Oh yeah.
I know they poop.
So if
And I
fish
know
pee,
that
they would have
water
to
goes
drink.
in their mouth.
I mean, all water technically has fish piss in it.
Piss in it,
Really?
yeah.
If
all
we're being
water?
all water.
Have at some point.
All water has fish piss.
It did have piss in it. It still
had.
has piss in it.
Well,
why do you think good water tastes good? They didn't remove the piss. They left in the piss. Like,
all right, that's what we're getting.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you Google it? Do you know the answer?
There's no answer.
Nope, we definitely Google it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't even know what I think about that one.
I think they don't. It was, it was like probably 3 minutes of looking things up.
I want to know more. I got a buddy that's a big fish guy. He's got like a couple aquariums. I'm gonna ask him that and see what his face does.
It probably blow his mind. Yeah, like and then he'll never look at his fish the same way again.
What did you just ask me?
Right, like how the fuck high are you, bro? Like get out of here.
That's a good one. That was a good question.
Thank you. I tried pretty hard. Eric, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, in honor of the show, what is your biggest oh no moment on the disc golf course? I always have to hear about those stories.
I had a giant Omo.
Somber.
Say that again. Oh, my face went somber. Yeah.
Oh no.
You're like, oh God.
I have an oh no moment that's just super, super fresh to me. It was today. I mean, and it was a really oh no moment because it was so dumb. It was so dumb.
Those are the best ones.
So dumb. Second round, I started on hole 9. So we just played the back 9 and then we just played the front. And I got through the back 9. The back 9's kind of, I would say maybe it's slightly more difficult. And I got through it even. So I was feeling pretty good on the front. I've been doing a thing where I'm not looking at scores lately, but I like to text my girl and, cause she's at home with our son. I'll just look at Facebook and shit still. Cause it just makes me feel like I'm just being like casual.
Right.
And I'm texting one of my buddies who played yesterday and he was like, bro, you're playing pretty hot. Like hang in there. And I was like, oh shit, dude, sick. Thank you. And my immediate reaction was like, don't fucking look. But I did. I immediately looked and I was
slam that panic button.
Yeah. And I was tied for 3rd place, which was a pretty big deal to me because last year I threw plus 19 on this tournament. And I think I finished in like next to last place. This year I'm playing a division up. So it was just, I was pretty proud of myself and I was feeling really good because I realized like, oh shit, I'm even right now. There's still a couple birdie holes. Anyway, the oh no moment happens like right after I'm like, cool, this is cool. I only got a couple more holes. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. I walk up to this hole that's got these 2 mando trees, like literally 15 feet in front of the tee pad, and they're probably 12 to 15 feet wide. And it's only the left tree that's a mando. First round, I got through there, no problem. Second round, I hit that right tree and kicked far left. Oh. And I'm like, shit. And I walk up to my lie, and I'm like, and I throw this sick forehand that flexes out and gets down near the basket, has like a jump putt. And I start walking to it and I'm all excited and I see a bunch of people like staring at me and I'm like, and I pull my one like AirPod out. I'm like, what the fuck? What's up? And they're like, what's up? And they like keep on walking. I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around and the guys at the tee pad are like, you didn't throw through the mando. And I didn't. I just walked up to my line and I was like so bummed out that I just hit that early tree that I didn't try to throw around that mando. I just like lined it up and I chucked this great shot and was kind of happy. And then I was like, Oh no.
That's
Damn.
rough.
So
Fuck.
yeah, so I had to go back to my lie that bounced off of the tree and now throw a my 4 shot because that was my second shot. I missed the Mando, so now I
Yeah.
have to
Mhm.
get the Mando. So I proceed to take a triple bogey on that hole and drop from 3rd place to 10th place. And then the next hole is a birdie hole, and I ended up bogeying that just because I was so in my head. But
Yeah.
that was
Right.
that's like the biggest oh no moment I can think of. And it's super oh no because it's like I didn't throw a bad shot. I totally
Just
brain farted
yeah,
on
it
the
was
course.
just like
Mhm.
right.
Yep. I got caught up in my own shit for didn't just kind of take your time, take a breath.
Yeah,
I just
just
didn't.
take
I
a
just
second.
walked up to that lie immediately and was like, I wouldn't say like, because once again, I don't really ever feel like I'm playing against other people. I feel like I'm playing against scores because I could even throw my
Right.
best round there ever and still not win, right? But like
Mhm.
this is just like, oh no, oh no, I need to take it. I need to take a second. That's like that's a pretty dumb one.
No,
I'll take it on.
dude, it
I'll own it.
happens.
I'll
Like
own it.
I, it's just tiny little mistakes that
It's fun.
like
It's kind of funny.
fuck. What are you
It's
doing?
kind of funny like afterwards, but in the moment, it's like that gets to me because I you can make up all these scenarios of how it could have played out and stuff, and
Right.
then you're feeling disappointed in yourself. But at the same time, too, it's like the thing that I can tell myself afterwards is, "Fuck, man, you had an oh no moment, and what you could have done differently was taken a breath and sort of gathered yourself because it's a tournament, right? You got the freedom to take some time. I'm
Right.
definitely
Mhm.
not Nico Locastle out
Right.
here
Like it.
like
Like
That
that."
it.
was a good
Yeah.
plug.
It's like Nico is the reason why I found Clash. I'm a big Nico fan. Um, but
We
yeah,
love Nico.
that one was silly. So that's my oh no moment.
But you can
That's a
also
good
look back
moment.
on
Oh,
it,
good.
and you were really only about 2 holes away from placing in Am One. It for your it was the first time in Am One, or
No, I actually played I played MA1 like 2 or 3 times now.
okay.
I
Well,
won
still,
an
like
M. Yeah, it
keep
was
going. Yeah.
like yeah, I think what you were getting to is a really good point and something that I had to remind myself is like I did make a really dumb mistake and it definitely did cost me. But if I wouldn't have made aside from that, rather, not to say if I wouldn't, if I could have,
Yeah.
aside from that
Uh-huh.
mistake, I played some pretty solid golf today
Yeah.
in
One
really,
hole.
really cold weather on one of the toughest courses like around here. Like it's real old school, so everything's par 3, everything's super wooded, still shot above my rating. There's always something to be, even if you score bad, like you were saying, Eric, you keep chasing those shots, those,
Yep.
there's always a good takeaway.
I
You just
always
need to
feel like
choose what you
I
focus on.
learn the most when I fuck up. Like so
Hard lessons.
yeah, like a tough lesson like that, you probably next time will take that second
Isn't
because
that a
of that
parallel to real
experience.
life too?
Seriously though, like
It's such a
it's
parallel
all
to real life. Like
yeah,
some of the most important lessons that I've learned in life were by going through something that sucked.
right.
Learning a hard lesson are the ones that really stick with you,
Seriously, in the moment, they're fucking terrible, but
and
like
it makes you better on the other side. And it makes
for
you,
real.
on the disc golf course, whether it be you get better at throwing shots or you get better at handling the bad shots. You know what I mean? Because nobody
Mhm.
wants to play with a bummer,
No one.
and I don't want to be a bummer.
Exactly.
People don't inherently want to be bummers, but some of us
It just
are
happens for
more.
some people.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Some people are just more vocal about it, and
Yeah.
back to the Nico thing, just like a quick one
Right.
on him is like one of the reasons why I'm a fan of his is because like I can relate with that, dude. Like when
Yeah.
he gets pissed off and has those meltdowns, dude, it's fucking hilarious. I love it. I like watching it. It's hilarious. But
Drama sells.
there's also a part of me that's pulling for him, that's like, dude, fucking get it next time, buddy.
Right. And he's just so it's passion is really
Yeah.
uh, we both me and you both think the passion. It's nice when it's on display like it
Mhm.
is with him. just
Yeah.
right in the surface.
Yeah, and it's I think too, disc golf can help you get better at that. Kind of funny because he's been playing for so long and still struggles with it. But imagine if he didn't have an out. I think this because I think for myself. What if I didn't have the outlet like disc golf to like test myself in those ways
Right.
and be pissed off sometimes, but then get in the car ride home and you think about it and you put your shitty problem on a disc golf course in perspective. I've been kind of chit-chatting with Chandler Fry recently, and he just did the trip to Uganda. And one of the things that he talked about in his mental health Monday, as soon as he got back, was like the perspective thing and just like how stoked these kids were on everything that they had and how in America, unfortunately, and probably in a lot of other places, I'm not super worldly, just a fucking Maryland boy. But we definitely see this trend of just consumerism and people just want more and they're not happy with what they have. And I can admit that I want to buy all the fucking Halo discs, even though I
Right.
don't need them and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like to an extent,
exactly.
like I can relate with that. But and that's going, way bigger picture. But yeah, just on the disc golf course, man, get content with where you are. You just fucking banged a tree. God damn, that sucks.
It's just
But
like,
you did.
when you were, I don't know, missing hitting a kickflip for the 5,000th time,
Yeah, dude.
like it's all learning.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Putting yourself through it, stepping into the ring or into the arena. That's something that I heard at some point, probably through one of those bodybuilding motivational speakers, but like
Yeah.
stepping into the arena,
It
like
sounds like John, actually.
John Cena. Oh,
John,
Uncle John.
or
Uncle John.
yeah, Uncle John. Yeah,
Uncle
could
John might
be.
have told me. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that's a badass thing. You can take pride in that and just stepping into the arena, man. If you step up every time, there's some people that don't, that quit. There's some people that give up.
Right.
Don't give up. Just keep stepping into the arena.
So, man.
Unless you really suck and never get better, dude, you should probably find a new hobby.
I mean,
But
Because
if you're having fun,
it can't be good.
just put a
It
little
can't
still be
asterisk.
fun.
Just put a little asterisk. Yeah.
It's like this guy's like, I love boxing. He's like 0-58.
Right. He's just getting his
I
ass
love
kicked.
boxing, man. Like, dude, quit stepping into the arena, man. Play chess. You
I
suck
don't
at
know.
boxing.
After losing 58 boxing matches, I don't know if chess will be the best thing for him either.
Yeah,
Knocked around a little bit.
true that. Get a
He's gonna
Nintendo
suck at
Switch.
chess.
He doesn't. He just never comprehends chess. He just sits on the other. He just sits on the wooden crate on the other side of the
Uh-huh.
linoleum chessboard in Franklin Square. Sounds like a place you might play chess in Franklin
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah.
Drools, and you just keep checkmating him
Yep.
because of his failed boxing career. But you know what? He's having fun with chess.
Oh,
As long as you're having fun.
Yeah.
But to go back to
Oh.
why Nico is still so mad after having the outlet, I think when you're competing on such a high level as that, and he was like top 5 in the world for a long time, to now have to come to the fact of I'm not top 5 in the world, but I still feel like I'm number 1 in the world. Because that's the one thing you hear from like any professional disc golfer. I'm the best one there is. Like even Scott Stokely will say it. I'm playing still now because I believe I can be the best person in the world. And so for Nico to continue to compete on that level, I don't know. I think it would wreck my mental health if I was ever in that position.
Yeah, well, and that's why I'm glad that you brought it back to that because I do like to talk about the mental health stuff a lot. And I think, another thing with the brand and what I'm trying to preach and something that I'm really living through is don't lower your standards, but reevaluate your expectations. And maybe Nico, in some aspects can start doing that for his game. And I'm sure he has a lot to offer we're seeing it more and more with a lot of disc golfers, just like you do in other sports where they're running clinics or they're, doing commentating or they're pushing these nonprofit organizations and they're being so involved and influential and making an impact in the sport, but not by necessarily competing. And yeah, I mean, I think that Nico probably has that because if you ask a lot of people who have met him, they say he's a great guy. I mean, they
Yeah.
say that he's like a really nice guy and he gives out discs and he spends time talking with people. And I can tell you, I talked to him a little bit and it was at Iron Hill after one of his rounds he was definitely not happy with. So, it was kind of odd. And also I really wanted to talk about mental health stuff with him. So I think I fucking weirded him out a little bit
Oh,
too.
okay.
Because like I said, I relate with him. I'm like, yo, bro, I seen him putting. He goes up to the practice basket after the round. This motherfucker putted like 100 discs in like maybe not that many, but he putted like 50 discs in like 8 minutes.
As fast as
Like
he could.
he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
and making every one of them. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, same thing that everybody else is like, why'd you take you so long on the course? Look at you, dude. You're crushing it. And while he's doing it, he's mumble cussing. Maybe not. He's mumbling to himself. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, that's
Probably
me,
cussing.
bro. That is me. I turn into
Yeah.
what's his name? Joe Pesci from Home Alone, dude, and I just get to
Oh.
mumble cussing the universe. I'm just when I
Yep.
so like I can relate with it. And bro, as soon as he kind of walked away, I kind of slid up. I had like one of the West Side like Nico discs that I was throwing. Was like, hey buddy, would you sign this for me? And he's like, yeah, cool. And so I'm like immediately like, hey dude, I know this is kind of strange, but like, I really feel like I relate with you in like some of the mental health aspect stuff here. And I want to like talk to you about like, I see you go over there and like do the putting and like, how's it make you feel? Like, I'm not trying to, like, I'm genuinely curious. Like,
You're
how's it
just
make you feel to go over
genuinely
and do that?
wondering.
Because
Yeah.
like, dude, for me, like, I feel like the same thing as
And
you.
you
And then
and
he
you're
went,
like with him, you're taking your shot. So this is your shot.
yeah.
You're taking it with him. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I fucking know that I can make it. Like, I know that I can make those putts. And he kind of goes into this thing where he's just talking to himself and I'm there, He's just like, I fucking know I can make those putts. I putt more than anybody does. Da, 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 da. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is wild. Like his energy he's just a polarizing character because of all that passion and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly what I was getting to, but they say
It's
he's a great
okay.
guy, man. Yeah,
It's
he was one of the only cats out there that had a whole booth set up next to his van and was selling merch and talking to people and everything. So
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I think it's interesting to see somebody that's as kind of out of control with their emotions as he is, because it's like I'm pulling for him because of his passion and dedication, the way that he carries himself. Remember that putt he made at Waco when he threw that like little anhyzer one really far away?
Mhm.
The first thing he did as soon as he hit it was turned around to the camera and was like, let's go. He really feels like it's him against the world.
Yeah.
And like, why? Like,
It's
I
on
don't
his
know.
head. It's so
But I
crazy,
can
isn't
tell
it?
you that like I kind of have that feeling sometimes, and it's has nothing to do with disc golf. It's because of like my like growing up. Like there's this
Right.
part of me that we all have totally different lives growing up and shit, right? Like, and I'm not trying to be a like bummy by any means, but this is real for me. Like I come from a family that had like a really ugly divorce, and like I kind of had to become pretty independent from a young age. And
Mhm.
I don't know a whole lot about Nico, but like for some reason I feel
You
like
feel connected with him.
I
It's like,
feel like
are
this
you my
connection.
brother? Like,
He's like
yeah.
he
Oh,
just
wait, are you my
reminds
dad?
me he's been through some shit. The guy's been through some shit. And
Yeah.
that's why he feels this like desire to prove people wrong. And like I don't know why, but like I have that desire too. And I know the thing for me when I fail is the reason why I'm so pissed is because I fucking know that I can do that. I
Oh yeah.
know that I can do that and I didn't do it. I didn't prove to everybody that I could do it. But really like nobody cares. A lot of times
It's on,
nobody
yeah, it's
cares.
like in your
You get
head,
back to
not
the
it's on
parking
you.
lot and
Right.
your boys are like, what's up, bro? And you're like, what's up, man? They're like, how'd you shoot? And I'm like, +2. And they're like, oh shit, I was 3 up today, and I'm like, word, damn, like nobody cares except for you, dude. So like, there's that perspective thing. Like you can want it so bad, but also it's a game.
And it's as big as you let it be. Like,
Yep. Yep. It's as big as you let it be. Then again, I'm not playing for money. I'm not playing to keep my van on the road.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's easy to downplay some of that pressure, I guess. But
But yeah,
still.
he's definitely one of the more interesting players on tour, just by like how close to the surface at any given moment everything is. Like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah, when he's happy, you know it. And it's awesome. And when he's pissed, you know that and it's entertaining.
yeah, I mean, uh, I don't know. It'd be probably tough to be pretty friends with him, you know?
I
Like,
imagine it probably. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Just so
I want to
he's
bring up.
just go ahead.
You keep going. No, I just wanted to bring up. If anyone watched the James Conrad interview with Luke Humphreys?
I didn't watch all of it. I seen clips of it though.
Okay, so they bring up the James Conrad like rage monster meme,
Yeah.
and he started talking about how he needs to find a way to get it more under control. His,
Well,
and
for
I mean, I get what he's saying because he's like they make that seem okay, but then it makes me feel like I can go farther and still be okay with it, and like eventually it could snowball into something more. And it's just like, but it's so funny to hear him being like the least explosive person on tour, saying like, "Yeah, I got to do better next time."
yeah, and I think that that's just a really, it's always situational because we're humans and shit, right? And then as soon as somebody has an impression of you, and as soon as you have this reputation for something, that's like what's kind of expected out of you or accepted by you and such. And for James Conrad, I have a cool I have a cool story about James Conrad, but from what I have gathered from around him, one of the guys that's in our local community, and think I don't think he'll care for me telling this, but anyway, one of the guys that's pretty integral in our local community and is involved in stuff. He was actually James Conrad's roommate in college, so they went to college together. So every time James Conrad is in the area, he's hanging out with our
Hits him
buddy,
up. That's awesome.
and randomly you go to the course and from another hole there's this tall guy with this bounce in his step and a ponytail and you're like, holy shit, James Conrad's here. So anyway,
Yeah.
I've got to witness him in real life a couple times, and he is just a super calm, cool, and collected guy, right? Just everything that you see is really him. But when somebody gets pissed, no matter how calm they are, you can just
Feel
there's an
it.
air,
Oh yeah.
right?
It's like
And
attention.
yeah, and whether your pissed is super calm or your pissed is bigger, like for you, that's something that is, it's yours to own. So like him showing any emotion, dude, like what I would really love to be able to do, and I don't know how people do this, is like when they throw a bad shot and they're just like, and then and they move on. I'm like,
Right.
I literally, my body wants to like convulse and shit. Like the more I want to hold it in, I'm like I have to be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like I have to. And James Conrad feels like he has to be like, and like gently kick a rock. But now, because that's even him showing his emotion, he's probably like,
Mhm.
man, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So it seems
I mean,
really small. And
At match
I would.
play, I did actually hear James Conrad say "fuck."
yeah,
Yeah, I was
Just,
gonna say,
just putting it out there. That did happen.
I
I
feel
believe
like
it.
he's at least swearing in his head. Like
Oh,
there's no matter how nice he is on the outside, I guarantee there's still swear words in his head. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
still
Because I
cursing,
mean,
cursing in his head.
that guy's holding himself to a high standard as well. And can you imagine? And then, I mean, even since, can you fucking just imagine being him now? Like, God, it's gotta be so annoying. Like
It's
after
Mhm.
hitting the
it
How
hole
gotta
many
be
shot, like,
so
Emmys
tough.
do you think he signed?
I mean, I have no man. It's crazy. I know when he came here, and it's like local community too. So like everybody loves him a little bit more just because
Right. Yeah.
we all know that he's like Eric's homie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
he just got hounded, and like it's really cool. It's all love, but
He's
like,
calling. He's like, Eric, I'm not coming back ever.
yeah, he's like, dude, I know that is definitely a thing of like he came out to one of the beta tournaments, and he was like, don't tell anybody that like I'm gonna be there. Like
Right.
I'm gonna come and I'm gonna support, but like don't tell because I don't want it to be like a show, I guess, type of deal.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
like a lot of people didn't know he was there, and then he showed up, and it was surprised
Chaos.
people, which is probably better because people were surprised and then they were didn't have discs to run up to him with and all kinds of other
Yeah.
shit. But I
He's
Yeah.
know, like,
definitely one of the larger disc golfers out there right now. So
absolutely,
it's a different level. I feel like there's even different levels within the professionals of just like uh
sure.
yeah, different like I'm sure like I don't know, probably you could go grocery shopping and it'd be like, run into somebody eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a lot of pros that you expect to see on the leaderboards. There's a lot of pros that you expect to, that are more influencers and stuff like that, and but they still can compete, and they still do have, hot rounds, but you're not necessarily seeing them in top 10 and regularly, and those are
Right.
tiers for sure. And just the hounding that comes through, like some of them just have their marketing and shit so much better and that's what
Right.
makes them so much more popular. And and the other thing that I wonder too, I'm glad that we got to do this and I got to cuss a bunch and just totally be me because this is me and I don't want to offend anyone by cursing at all. But
Right.
disc golf
But that's
is this
us. That's how
really,
you speak. Like
yeah, this is how I speak. And disc golf is this really cool sport that's for anyone, all ages. I definitely would never want to I wouldn't want, I guess I wouldn't want like young kids like hearing me cussing and stuff, but I also think like it'd be cool if kids were wearing happy with par and stuff.
right.
Anyway, to be a pro and to be in that place where you're in the public eye and you're putting on social media and stuff like that. Basically what I was getting to is like I'm glad that I can do this and that I can feel free to drop, an F-bomb maybe here and there, not
Right.
because I think that's pretty or cool, but that's who I am. So if you ever do meet me in person, you're not like surprised.
Exactly.
And I think like that's a lot to hold being a pro golfer, like that's a lot to hold up, like say for Nico. Well, that's not a good example because he's known for being a hothead. But say
Right.
for
But
James
like
Conrad, he
right.
finishes up a round and bogeyed out the last two holes and is pretty pissed and doesn't really want to talk to people. And but immediately, especially in this era, bro, you better be nice.
It's
You better
because
be nice.
like
And he's
right, because like everything could go away real quick, bro. Like you
yeah,
better smile. Like what are you doing?
you're real nice on, it's your job to kind of be nice, but now you're thrust into that job. It don't just end on the course. It could happen in
Right.
the grocery store. It's like Eminem
Right.
said, at least let me eat when you see me out feeding my daughter or whatever.
Right.
Speak to
Exactly.
me. It's like, no, but for real, like, if I don't know how I would handle that because I know if somebody would came up to me today after I had my Ono moment and they were like, "Yo, buddy, I'm happy with par. I love happy with par. Can you sign?" I'd be like, "Bro, the fuck
And
away
then
from me for
or
a
or
minute."
just be like, hey, talk to me about your mental health game too. Like you'd be like,
Yeah,
oh
I'd be
fuck.
like, "Bro, I don't know how to be better." Like I said to the guys on my card, I was like, like we were finishing up because I had those two bad holes, and then it was the last hole around. The guy's like, comes up, he's like, "Well, good playing with you guys." And I'm like, I dapped him up, and I was like, "Bro, I'm sorry." And they were like, "It's cool, man." I was like, "Nah, it's not. I'm embarrassed." I was like, that was dumb." And they were like, "That sucked, man. We're sorry that that happened to you." And I'm like,
Right.
"I'm sorry that I cussed." Even though I didn't like, I went to by myself. I went to my bag, walked over here, was like, "Fucking
Yeah.
finish, sugar, finish." But I don't want to do that. But it is me. So
It's an
happy with
image.
par
It's a
is,
little bit of pressure, but like it is a good thing, especially when you're like genuine about it, because then it's not as much pressure because you don't have to act.
yeah. I've always said as I've been talking about this brand, like going back to the Instagram and all that, like this is as much for me as it, anybody else that it helps, cool, man. Cool. I'm glad. Even if you just think it looks cool, like awesome. Thank you for appreciating the creative vision. And if it helps you with disc golf shit, just know that you're not alone. You ain't the only one that kicks your own ass up and down the fairway. Like other people do it, and just get better. Get better at it, because you shouldn't. You should be having fun.
That's it. At the end of the day, I mean, it's that same thing where like, all right, you missed the first hole. All right, well, this round's fucked. I'm always like, all right, well, I'm gonna have the most fun out of anyone here. This is gonna be the most fun round I've ever had. But,
and if it's not, if it seems like next hole tree, like you could be like, the universe fucking hates me, or you can go, what I try to do sometimes, be like, oh, this is one of those mental like training rounds.
Yeah.
Like now what I do is just get through it without kicking my own ass the whole time. Like, okay. And then eventually, if you think that after a couple throws, you'll be back to not hitting trees every time. And then
it
your
has to
mind
stop eventually.
yeah, it stops. And it's interesting too how your mind will just slip into these modes. Like, I forgot I was fucking pissed after I got that birdie, dude. Cool. Hey, I am so sorry that I mumble cussed the universe back there. And they're like, yeah, so am I, dude.
It's so difficult to like be easy on yourself.
It
We
is.
could talk about mental health all day, but yeah, gotta be easy on yourself.
So I think we've been talking for a long time. We probably should get ready.
Probably, yeah. What do we got, Eric? Anything else?
All I want to know is what's your favorite snack on the course? And then I'll give you a chance to plug everything.
Today, my snack was pistachios and dark chocolate cherry kind bar.
I thought you would have been on those almonds. I don't know.
I had a sandwich at lunch. No, I didn't have almonds. I had pistachios.
Just because the name of the disc thing.
Sorry. Yeah, I got you. I got you, bro. I'm there. And I was trying to be like, I don't know why I didn't.
And then, let everyone know where they can follow you in your journey and any other projects they should keep their eyes out for.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I'm mostly active on Instagram at happywithpar.dg. I have a website. If you get on there, you think that the merchandise does look cool, go to happywithpar.com, pick you up a little something. I'm on Facebook, Happy with Par, and I've got YouTube, Happy with Par. So follow the journey. Like I said, I'm trying to just stay engaged with the community. If you got, shit that you can teach me about disc golf and about the mental health journey that overlaps with it, like that's what I'm here for. So, and making friends. I appreciate chit chatting with you guys. This was super fun.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It was silly.
Right back at you. It was a good time. But that's what I was talking about too. Like my goal, I just want to make a bunch of friends around the country, or like New Zealand, wherever the fuck we're talking to people.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's gonna be good for all of us, if we continue to, because I think too, like it's an encouraging thing. Whether or not, as long as it's disc golf, as long as you're talking about disc golf and you're aiming, what disc golf is aiming to be a better version of yourself, right? Sort of like on the course, and I think it just naturally parallels. So you keep doing that, you keep aiming to be better, you keep meeting people that are aiming to be better, and it just makes a better community, and then it gets a little bigger, and it's better for society. And in the long run, if we're all just doing something that makes us happy and we're having fun, it's better for the world. Play disc golf for world peace.
It's a good game. End of the day,
I think
playing a good fucking game.
I think we have to end it on that, because I think that is about the best way to end it. So thanks again for coming on, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Dude, so nice
thank you guys. Great to meet you too. I'll holler at you when I come out for 303 Open.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll be here.
Peace.